All right, we are on our way to get lunch, and we have decided to talk about balance. What is balance?
What is balance? It's a good question, Mr. Philosopher TJ.
Well, I think balance is something that we as humans need more of. And I think the way we live our life in this hectic world, we're often out of balance. I would say we are the one species that is out of balance because we have so much technology influence and so much change that we are not in our normal state of being, unlike other animals. Besides dogs and cats, of course, when they're domesticated. But balance is something we all can be better at. I think it will make us healthier and happier people.
You know what, though? I never really felt out of balance until maybe like 5 years ago. Maybe 4.
What do you think it was? Is it
I don't
life?
know.
Is it age?
I think it's a combination of that, but I can't see, honey. I do think it's a combination of definitely life. And then your thought process changes as you get older, as you age.
Do you find yourself worrying more as you've gotten older?
Oh yeah, I was never a warrior. I'm a warrior, but I'm not a war. How would you say that? Sounds the same to me.
But so what's happened? What do you think it is?
I don't know. Maybe it's an imbalance. Maybe it's a hormonal imbalance. I'm not sure, but I never had like sadness in my soul before.
And you have sadness in your soul?
Yeah, I think because I worry a lot about the kids, their well-being, their futures. I don't really worry about my future. That's not a worry for me. I still believe whatever happens, happens.
Mm-hmm.
Did we give all of our kids the tools that they need to survive in this world?
But isn't that normal parenting concern? I mean,
I think it's worse now. I don't think our parents really worried about that as much as we do now. I feel like there's a lot more distractions and maybe more sadness in the world for our kids, and it's probably most likely social media. Everything just put in your face all the time.
One of the actresses said that their teenage kids will not have any social media, any.
So smart.
And they protested against it. And when they said, she said, when you can find an article or a study that proves that it's helpful, then I'll reconsider. And obviously there's not going to be that article. But the flip side of it is, what are you delaying your kid in terms of understanding how to use tools that are going to be important tools in the future?
Well, speaking about balance, that your kids are going to need that kind of a balance.
They need to understand how to use technology.
They need not overuse it, but they need to understand it. That's good. That's the future.
So I also want to add that I feel as a whole we're getting more sad, more depressed, just not only just kids but adults too. And I think a lot of it has to do with our lack of being in balance. So we want to talk about 7 things to help you make sure you're in balance, pretty much. So these 7 things are crucial. If you can get these 7 things in balance, then you will be better off. So thing number 1, physical health. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that the fact that it's number 1, it's important. I've noticed that too. I have an injury. I haven't really wanted to work out because the pain's excruciating. So, and I don't want to re-injure it more or make it worse. But I do think that that's very important. I'm gonna get back to it though.
So you haven't been working out so much, and you're wondering if that's part of the thing that's contributing.
I don't know if it's part of it. There's a lot of reasons why, but I think I just never thought I would worry about my older kids as much as I do. Yeah. Did you ever think you would?
No, I didn't.
I never considered parenting to be hard and a struggle until like these past few years.
Yeah.
I'm just a happy person by nature, And even if things, you know, sad things happen or negative things, I overcome them very quickly. I'm not recovering as quickly as I used to.
But is that because you're not in necessary control? Because it seems like a lot of it's from the older kids, and they're more secure with who they are, and then because they are, you're having less.
You're saying they're secure with who they are?
Well, I'm just saying your influence is less than it's ever been.
See, I'm not that parent that needs to have that. I want my kids to be independent, happy, successful. I don't need my kids to need me. I feel like that's when I've done my best job, when I can just set them free and without worry.
Well, I guess since we're already talking about it, the second one is family. The second, let me get the proper 7 secrets of successful people for living a balanced life. And I think this is an important one. As I go away, that's another reason why it's kind of somber, because I leave in about 12 hours for 2 weeks, and don't like leaving. I love creating, I love going to Nashville, but I miss my family, and they obviously miss me. You got to make sure you're balancing yourself. Too often we get, especially here in the States, we get so enthralled with our work and our profession that we forget to balance it with family time and family things. Just last weekend I took Rio to go see a movie, and he loved it, and it felt really good for me as well, just to be able to unwind with my 8-year-old.
Do you feel like you've gotten better with that? Because I feel like you didn't have a balance for a good couple years.
Yeah, there was a time where I was definitely out of balance when it came to family. And
we struggled with that. I think during that time our relationships also suffered.
Really?
Oh, for sure. But I think women and men think differently.
Yeah.
You just were focusing on what you felt like you had to do at the time. And I was just basically allowing you to do that because I feel like you needed that for yourself. But we kind of grew apart and then had to like realize, okay, that's not a healthy way to be.
Are you happy with the decisions you made and how you handled things?
I am.
Okay.
I am. You know, for the most part, I am. I have to say, yeah. Because I don't like to put extra pressure on you, but sometimes you need to be shaken up a little bit.
Maybe.
Say, hey, focus. It was more about you. Like, I felt like you were unhealthy mentally.
I think
you were doing too much.
I think men go through this. They get so focused on certain things and accomplishing certain things that they lose balance. And one of the first things that go is the balance with your family. So something to be mindful of. Anyways.
And I actually read that though too. So it kind of got me prepared for it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 on this list is social. Do you have a robust network of friends or not? Do you have a group of folks you hang out with regularly? Maybe for a book club or go to play soccer. Do you have friends?
I do. And I have just the right amount.
You spend time with your friends?
Yes,
How important are friends?
For women, I think friends are very important.
And why?
Because a lot of times, you know, we vent to each other and that's our therapy. You know, we're getting it out. We're not suppressing everything. And I feel like that's very healthy.
And you don't think guys need it as much?
No, I don't. I feel like they don't think they need it, but they do. Anytime you can get things off your chest and let it out, I think that's such a huge relief for your soul.
So women definitely need it. Men need it, but they don't realize they need it.
Well, I don't want to say women need it because that's generalizing. I don't feel like it. I just think it's healthy. It's healthy.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to get things out, but as a man, I think sometimes a dog or an animal can fill that role pretty well.
Yeah, but you're still not talking about things. That's different.
I'm talking and I'm processing. I think
you're petting the dog.
But I think men sometimes just need to get it out and hear what they're going through sometimes, and not just think what they're going through. Because a lot of times too, we're very strong-minded, It's a nice way to say stubborn. But we're very strong-minded, and we're gonna go do what we're probably gonna do anyways. Hey, we don't need that additional commentary over there. Anyways, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the sound effects. Sometimes we can get a little stubborn. So I wonder if we would listen to others as much, which is why we probably don't have as many friends, or don't think it's as important for a male versus a woman. So I think before that gets balanced, we need to be more humble with how we think as men.
I still feel like it would help. Relationships would be a lot healthier if men communicated more. Yeah. Women just want to be heard. We just want to feel like we matter.
Women just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes vent and just sit there. Or say, honey, is there anything I can do? How can I make it better?
But what happens when a woman is venting and your ears start to hurt?
Oh, well, that's never happened to you. So
that was a joke. That wasn't a good joke either. I'm sorry to all my ladies out there.
No, he ain't sorry. He for real. Look, I don't vent to TJ. I'll tell you guys that.
Why not?
Because you don't listen anyway. So why would I vent to someone who's like...
I listen. I just want to make sure you are listening to what you're saying, because I think the answers are pretty clear. You just have to... If you come up with the answers instead of me telling them, it'll stick better. You'll listen to it. It'll work better.
Now you're just talking out the side of your neck right now.
That's another saying I never understood. That makes no sense. Number 4, financial. This is definitely harder for men to keep a balance.
Yeah.
We're going through a tunnel right now. But yes, here's what it says about financial. What does your personal financial balance sheet look like? Are you on a path to accumulate enough wealth? If you're working too much and you don't have the money you need, something is clearly missing in the equation. So the key to personal financial health is to feel in control and know that you have enough money to have options. Now, I should preface this with the fact that this article is from Inc. magazine, which is a business magazine. So there's a slight nudge to the business side of things. So there's actually... business is next, but we're not going to talk about each one of those. We'll just talk about the financial aspect of your life, making sure it's balanced. And I'm going to just say we have to make sure we're in control of our finances and not overspending,
living beyond your means.
Not living beyond our means to the point where it's causing stress. That's a very important one. Anything you want to say about that?
I think that's very true, which is why when I first met you, I don't even think I had a credit card.
You didn't?
I don't think so. I mean, I had a bank card, but...
You didn't even have a cell phone.
No, I didn't have a cell phone.
You didn't even have a pager.
No. Why do I need a pager?
So I could page you.
Boy, please. I'm not...
Shoot.
Where I'm from, pagers meant for something else.
What were pagers for? All right, the next cheat secret to becoming a balanced person is civic duties and responsibilities. I think this is a big one. Obviously we have DDJF, but I think contributing to society in some way, to your community, really gives you a sense of purpose and makes you feel better overall. There's nothing like making the world a better place. I know that sounds very cheesy and cliche for some of you, but it's the truth. I get a lot of satisfaction doing DDJF. It's a lot of work. But whether it's coaching as well, when I was coaching, kids from obviously coaching one of our kids as well, but it's something's great about contributing to others' lives. So I'm completely in support of this, because I think a lot of people don't realize the benefits of contributing to other people.
I agree.
Anything you want to say about that?
We need to do better with that. With the kids.
I'll tell you one more thing, and this is the last one that we need to do better with, and that's spiritual. I
feel like at this point, we're going to have to find a church that we like, because it's easy to get complacent and just say, we'll go next Sunday.
Now, why is this important to you?
Because I feel like we're losing that. And I felt when I was younger, a lot of my spirituality helped me through the hardships. And like, I wouldn't vent to anyone, I wouldn't talk to anyone, but I would talk to God and I would pray, and it was just very healing for me, and it still is.
Yeah. I obviously think just not only just God and the religion aspect, but just getting out in nature and the environment, getting time to really do some deep thought process. I mean, I've been starting yoga, and that's had a very great addition in my spiritual cup, if that makes sense. So I obviously think having some type of spiritual in a religious sense is great and important, but also just some spiritual in a deeper sense for yourself is important. So, and again, like you said, for instance, I think it's something we often neglect. And I think sometimes when we don't know what's off, or when we have a hardship, we're having to deal with it in a weaker stance if we don't have that spiritual strength. So
I agree.
I think that's it. Anything else you want to add in terms of balance in life?
I think one that should have been right up there by number one is self-care. Just loving yourself and taking care of yourself. Doing things that make you happy. Simple as watching something on Netflix. That's my self-care. I love to do that. You always be talking about me, but I
don't mind Netflix as much as I mind the news. But I will ask you, since you mentioned it, what are you watching on Netflix? What's the best show on Netflix right now? According to Francis Jackson, this is the best thing on Netflix on April 17th, 2023.
You can't ask me that, because I watch a lot of mindless TV, because it's not something I want to sit there and have to pay attention to. A lot of times I'm doing laundry or cleaning as I'm looking at it.
So can you name one show in case someone wants to watch a Netflix show that they want a suggestion? What would you say?
I don't know, because this suggestion is not, I just finished Beef.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be number one, at least for a week that I saw.
And tell me about Beef.
It's very interesting. I don't want to give it away, but it had a life lesson. It's not that important to be beefing.
Oh.
But they took it to an extreme. They really did. But I feel like sometimes we get caught up and we start to lose.
It's a good show?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's close this. We're going to close this conversation in a car. This was pretty enlightening. I think we knew all of the things that we talked about, but it's always good to refresh the mind and to reconsider it. And I will end with this. It's super important that everyone respects the importance of balancing and living a balanced life. You may think it's not important, but when you need it, it's going to bite you in the butt if you don't have it. So balance out your life, live that life of balance, and you will truly find a more enjoyable way of living.
Be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
If you like the video, make sure to like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and leave a comment. Well, let us know what you guys think about what we talked about. Adios, everyone.